So yeah, first, Arsenal are making Champions League next season. Arsenal fans, book your flights.
Fisayo.
Book it. We're going to hear that Champions League anthem. It's been a minute.
Social media will be down here so you can ask him if you guys don't make it. Yeah, you're lucky you didn't come here in that Atletico jersey. I would have locked you at the gates.
Oh, man.
I mean, but him not coming here in the Atletico jersey works, but me coming here in the green and yellow works perfectly. Repping Brazil today.
Shout out the Celesal, shout out Vini, shout out Rodrigo. So that was an interesting game at the Wanda Metropolitano, given what's happened in recent weeks. What do you think about Atletico's comments on Vinicius Jr.? You can start with Sam.
Yeah, for me, I think it was off. They didn't handle it well. Koke was basically insinuating some racist stuff, which I just didn't rock with. I love Atletico, they're my guys, but racism is where I draw the line. So obviously, I was happy Vinicius got involved in the second goal. That was the only time I can kind of full on vote for Madrid. So, but yeah, otherwise, I think Atleti handled it wrong. I hope La Liga kind of do something about it because, yeah, you just have to take racism out of football.
Yeah, I feel like La Liga and the entire football community have to do something about it. Like, the conversations have to be had and actionable steps have to be taken, right? Because these kinds of things happen over and over again in European leagues, and it's just not right.
Yeah, and it was especially bad that even after the comments were made and then people were putting out their support for Vinicius Jr., then when it happened and they danced, the Atletico fans started throwing objects at them. So even given the context for the last few days, they still handled it wrongly on the day. And yeah, that was quite bad to see. And yeah, happy Vini got his.
Even till today, we've not seen anything from Atletico Madrid to show that they do not support such behaviors and such actions. So that's a questionable. I mean, I'm questioning you.
I'm disappointed
supporting
because
Atletico Madrid.
I didn't know this is a newfound thing for me. I did not know the players. They have black players there. They support. They're a good team. Simeone is welcoming of all players, but I just think this situation they handled it wrong. They needed to make a stance prior to the game. No racism. We support Vinicius. Obviously, we're Atletico versus Madrid. It's a Madrid derby, but we draw the line at racism. That should have been crystal clear.
And it's clear it's a racist thing because they had Antoine Griezmann a few seasons ago who danced every time he scored. And you could argue that his own dance was even more offensive.
Well, even more offensive because you do the
joke. Everything. But Koke had no problem there. But now doesn't like it because it's Vini. Interesting. So that's the big news in La Liga. Real Madrid still sits top of the table. 9 wins from 9. Benzema is injured. They're still picking up wins. I think they're favourites for Champions League again, but we can touch on that as the season progresses. But now I want to take you over to the Bundesliga, and something is happening that is quite peculiar, and it's Sadio Mane's form. It's quite bad at the moment, and the Bayern Munich fans, they're calling for his head week in, week out. I'm feeling bad for my boy. How are you guys seeing it?
I feel like that officially brings us into the hit or miss segment.
Exactly.
Right? Do you think Sadio Mane's signing at Bayern Munich is a hit or a miss? Of course, don't forget you can put your comments in the comment section. Do you think Sadio Mane to Bayern Munich is a hit or a miss?
I think it's early days to call that. Well, 7 games into the season, it's tough to do that. But he's a marquee signing. He was brought there to improve the side. It's a weird one. The system doesn't really favor him in that he's not a out-and-out number 9. So, and even Leroy Sané, who was linked out of the club prior to the new season, he's still doing well. So Mane almost is finding his feet. He has to replace Lewandowski, who is all-time in Bundesliga for goals. So it's early days. Bayern overall are not looking great, attacking-wise, defensive-wise. So I think you need to give him a bit more of a chance. So maybe more of a miss right now, but early days.
Yeah. So for me, I'd say a hit for many emotional reasons. Not really for the things that you're seeing on paper at the moment. But for the fact that he's leaving Liverpool has put Liverpool in a very, very bad place at the moment. And that's a major hit for me. A massive player for Liverpool, leaving Liverpool, and then Liverpool being in the doldrums, quote unquote. It's a good thing any day, anytime. And him being in Bayern Munich, we cannot say that Bayern Munich's woes are solely down to Sadio Mane. Julian Nagelsmann seems to have lost the plot at some point. At the start of the season, no wins in 4. At the start of the season, they drummed 6 or thereabouts, like 6 goals past the opponent, and in that game, Sadio Mane scored 2 or there. So he can give you the goals, but of course he needs to find a way to use that front line, very well. So I'll put the blame on Julian Nagelsmann. But is Sadio Mane to Bayern Munich a hit? If you ask me, it's a hit.
I think it's so this conversation is interesting for multiple reasons. Obviously, as a Liverpool fan, it's interesting to me. I think, well, firstly, when I was on timeline yesterday, I was seeing Bayern Munich fans wanting to kill my boy Mane. Right. But I think that's very interesting because a few weeks ago they were saying, oh, Mane is in a club that will appreciate him now. If people didn't appreciate him in Liverpool, now 6 weeks down the line, see how they're treating my boy. That's one. Football. And then another thing, I think it's interesting that you say Bayern Munich's woes are not down to Sadio Mane, but you say Liverpool's woes are down to Sadio Mane leaving. Yeah. So Sadio Mane has left, but in that same time, our spine, so our second starting centre back has been injured. Our starting midfielder has been injured. Diogo Jota, our second top goal scorer, who scored more goals than Mane, has been injured. So to put the emphasis on Mane, I think it's convenient. But I think Mane as a player, yeah, like you said, obviously, it's too early to say if it's a hit or a miss because he's a very good player and if he does well in the business end of the season, that's what matters. So it's like Messi, and then all these guys, it doesn't matter what you're doing now, as long as you turn. And like last season, that's exactly what he did. He won for Senegal, got to the Champions League final. So yeah, the jury is still out on Sadio Mane.
Yeah, definitely, but hit or miss. You just have to
hit or miss. I'll say it's a miss right now, and the way things are looking, I'll go out to him and say, yeah, I don't think Sadio Mane is the same player he was before. So I'll say all in all, when we look back on it, it's probably been missed.
Yeah, time won't allow us to go into details, but of course, we will now. There's some bias with that judgment, but there you have it.
We've been talking about Arsenal since the start of the season, telling you what we think, blah, 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 but we decided to get an Arsenal fan on the show to rep his club and tell us his thoughts.
How are you seeing it? It's all happy days.
So is this the introduction of Rep Your Club?
I guess this is right. The Rep Your Club debut.
So Fisayo, Rep Your Club.
All right, well, there's all positive things to say about Arsenal. 6 wins out of 7, top of the league going into the international break. Our midfield is killing it. Jesus star signing. Saliba feels like a new signing. Everything is just good. Zinchenko, they say it all.
Talk your shit.
So we had a 15-year-old coming on Waneri. So like everything is all good at Arsenal. Okay. What do you guys have to say?
That 15-year-old had the Nigerian son name, so I don't know about that.
But yeah, everything is going well. I can't complain. The football is making sense. Arteta's project, you can actually see that it's bearing fruition now. Compared this season to last season when we went to Brentford, we got beat 3-0. Now we're going there, comfortable 3-0 win, where United struggled this season. So it's like, there's nothing to complain about right now. I think we just need to keep it up and make sure we stay injury-free. That is the key. Partey needs to be fit, Zinchenko needs to be fit, Jesus needs to be fit.
But interestingly, before you bring your next point, I saw a tweet where somebody said, Arsenal are the reverse Robin Hood. They take points off the smaller teams and dash them to the bigger teams. We wanted to bring you on before the Manchester United game. It would have been interesting to see the difference between what you thought then and what you thought after that game. But yeah,
I'm still confident.
So I think that Manchester United game is very interesting because that's where I question Arsenal. Like, will you beat the big teams? And so let's say, taking back the way forward, if Partey does stay fit, Zinchenko does stay fit, where do you think you finish the season?
I think we'll finish in the top 4 comfortably. I think
we'll finish. But when did you think you're challenging?
I think third. Challenging is a bit too soon to say. You can't. It's in the Premier League. You can't just jump up like that. Not with teams like Man City, you can't rule out Liverpool. So it's too early to say. I think we'll be comfortable in third place.
So you heard it here first. Arsenal are making Champions League next season. Arsenal fans, book your flights.
Book it. We're gonna hear that Champions League anthem. It's been a minute.
Social media will be down here, so you can ask him if you guys don't make it. But yeah, on to our next question. We're still in the Premier League because I guess that's what we all watch the most. And something crazy is going on at the bottom of the Premier League. Leicester City sits rock bottom and Brendan Rodgers is down bad. How do you guys see it?
Yeah, so remember the episode that we're here on together, the one before I had to travel. We talked about Brendan Rodgers and the likelihood of him being sacked. But that conversation is still going on.
It's heavier now.
Brendan Rodgers has not been sacked yet, but the likelihood has become even more. Yeah. But I would say again, similar to what I said in that episode, you cannot blame Brendan Rodgers for the woes of Leicester City today. The club did not back him with signings. This guy has talked about a project over and over again. He's talked about the need to refresh the squad. But he has not come out to openly criticize the ownership of the team.
Can I stop you there though?
But he has brought that team, or he has managed that team to respectable positions in the past couple of seasons. Now, the team needs a refresh. He's currently playing Wilfred Ndidi in centre back. His first choice right back, Ricardo Pereira, has had long-term injury after long-term injury. His major striker, Jamie Vardy, is 35 or 36 now.
Falling off the cliff.
I'm falling off the cliff.
He has one player in Jamie Madison.
He has one player in Jamie Madison, and another one player or half a player in Yuri Tillemans, who blows hot and cold in games.
He's half foot out.
Half and
half out.
Do you get me? So
left on his deal.
it is a problem that's not just down to Brendan Rodgers, in my opinion. And sacking Brendan Rodgers would be a very, very, very bad
Can I
move.
add something? Everything you said there is legit. But the one thing I'll say is that warrant them being 20th in the league, 1 point in 7. They've conceded the most goals throughout the most goals in Premier League history at this point in the season. This is suicidal football.
History.
Yeah, they've conceded. I'm not sure the exact number, but it's crazy numbers here like we're talking about. They look so leaky at the back.
And
It's
for
terrible.
me, you know why I put a lot of this blame on Brendan Rodgers? Because Rodgers has been my manager.
He's
before.
done it to you.
And
Yes,
I'm
yes,
seeing
yes.
these trends. I'm seeing the same trends repeat themselves. How every single cross that comes into Leicester box, they're probably going to score. And when that happened with me, I thought maybe our centre back were just bad. Because they were kind of bad, but every cross entered. And every single attack. So Brendan Rodgers, he's a good manager. He seems to play nice attacking football. But he's childish. And he has been childish since he was at Liverpool. Like, he wants to score goals. They mentioned at Liverpool, he was saying, yeah, he didn't want a defensive coach. He's doing the same thing at Leicester. And we can see it on the pitch that these guys are not drilled. They do not know how to defend. They run to your defense week in, week out. And the guy is just childish. And I feel he got a lot of credit in his bank for the time in the Scottish Premier League. And that just makes me question that league because even Stevie Gerrard ran through that league. So those managers at the top of that league, they might just be mid, man.
It doesn't mean much. It doesn't mean much.
So yeah, I think to be 20th and 1 point, if you don't sack him, you might get relegated. It's going to get to that
It's getting to that point, and they have injuries. They have guys that are not sure of where they stand, whether they buy into the project or not. Madison is constantly being linked out of the club. Yuri Tillemans is linked out of the club. So,
But
as much as I get everything you said, and he's had a lot of success at the club, but I do feel like with the way the table looks, with the way the team looks, it might just be the end. There's a cycle. It might be unfair to sack him, but I think the cycle has run its course.
So at the end of the day, that's a question for you, the fans out there. Do you think that Brendan Rodgers should be sacked now? Should he be sacked now? That's a question. Let us know in the comment section. But do you think he should be sacked now? Let us know in the comment section.
Guys, the Artful Dodger. Dodgers. On to our final segment for the day. We're going on to our FPL segment. And I have a question for both of you. Do you think now is the time to take the punt on Son Heung-min at 11.7 mil? So obviously the first 6 games of the season, he blanked, and then over the weekend, he comes on off the bench and scores a hat-trick in 30 minutes.
Very fast hat-trick.
What's that doing for you as managers? Is that
At the end of the day, if you're an FPL manager and you did not think that you would have Heung-min Son in your team at some point in the season, then I don't think you really know what the
game.
FPL is about. So he's one of those players that you need to have in your team. And he's had a quiet start to the season, but he's come on and you could see it in that game. All his celebration, it was like
before he started scoring,
he was like, yes. So you know this is somebody who the 3 goals would do a world of good to his confidence, and he's coming.
So we take the risk now.
I definitely will be trying to get him in. I'm going to try and move things around. I have two free transfers at the moment. I had a very bad week last week, again with 8, but I had 2 free transfers in the bank, and I have enough money to make that transfer happen. So I definitely will be making it happen. I do not have Harry Kane, so that's one hole you need to fill. One hole I need to fill.
You need one Spurs guy.
I need one Spurs guy, definitely. Although I have Perisic.
Assets.
I had him at the
start.
start. He's been really
He's a
good.
defender that would most likely get assists, as the season goes on. But Heung-min Son, definitely one you should get.
So I think you should definitely consider Son Heung-min. He just got the hat-trick, so you want to be one of the early adopters of Son Heung-min. You don't want to do it
price is going
when he's back.
Just buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high.
Price is going up.
Buy low, sell high. We are looking to it's at 11.7 mil. He probably started the season around 12 points.
Yeah, it started around 12.
Yeah, it was one of the more expensive players.
So.
And his next 5 fixtures, it's a mixed bag. So he's got Arsenal away, where he has a decent record against Arsenal.
He has a good record against Arsenal.
So he can do something. He's got Brighton away, Brighton, he should be able to feast against Brighton. They have a new manager, and he's on for Everton, who are quite poor. Then he's got United and Newcastle. Both tricky games, but a player of Son's caliber, you think he can.
If Tottenham will score goals in any of those games, the probability that Heung-min's son will be scoring one of them is quite high.
Yeah, this is a golden boot winner we're talking about. Like,
Right.
let's not forget. People, football fans are quick to forget. This guy can do it. So
definitely.
I back him to get the goals. I think so. I'm having him in my team.
So that's the message from FAL. Put some respect on Son Heung-min's name.
Right.
On to another league where it was a very interesting weekend in Serie A. Fisayo gave me an interesting start when he came in today. You want to share with the people?
Yeah, so we found out that the Sun yesterday, since so AC Milan, Inter Milan, Roma, and Juventus all lost on the same day for the first time since 1955. Make of that what you will, but that is absolutely crazy. The only thing I can think of is maybe it's Napoli's year. Because they're top of the league.
I feel like that beats the odds. And I wonder what the odds were on Bet Winner, right? Because you wouldn't have thought
you'd have
that
cashed out
all these teams would have lost. And imagine the odds. Imagine you had one crazy accumulator on 4 of them. Like that.
I need to get in on the act. Maybe it's my lucky time. I'm back in on next after the international break. Hopefully I'll get lucky.
That wasn't all that happened in Serie A. One of our problematic faves was,
of course,
front and center again.
In other news, Jose Mourinho is back at it again with the attitude, with the fire, with the with the feisty,
the passion.
He got red carded in their game, and Roma went on to lose that one 1-0. And I saw him charging at the referee like he was going to punch the referee, and I'm like, bro, are you really going? Like, are you really going to do that? Are you really going to do it?
No, when Jose loses it, it's box office. Jose is just box office, and I'm happy he's in, even though he's left the top level where he used to be in, he's in a level below, but I'm happy he seems happy. He's won the competition. Hopefully he can win the Europa League, because a character like Jose Mourinho just makes football more interesting.
And he brings in quality players. He managed to bring in Dybala, he managed to bring in Tammy Abraham. Like, these are top players that Roma would not really be able to get a couple of years ago.
I think he's realized that he's not at the top level again, and he's found happiness on this little level if he wins the Europa Leagues.
That sounds like an agenda.
It's easy to have
a hit of hits.
No, I love Jose. I love Jose. I prefer Pep Guardiola, but I just feel like at the top level, he was washed now.
Oh yeah, that's true. Check out that episode where we ranked top 10, or was it top 5 managers, and we both interestingly ranked Jose Mourinho over Pep Guardiola.
Exactly. So I won't come here and hate on Jose.
That's an interesting one. That was an interesting one.
We can discuss that again. Maybe we'll get you back on there to tell you us that. All right, that's an episode. Thanks for rocking with us on yet another episode of SANGALOOO. Thanks for coming to Fisayo.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
And Arsenal.
Arsenal first, too. Let's get it straight.
Thanks. Nice to have you back, Tele. Strike partner back in the cup, banging in goals as he does.
Right. Definitely does feel good to be back. But before we go, we have an amazing visitor from our beautiful sponsors, Bet Winner Nigeria. We're going to be bringing him on the set before we wrap things up. Finally, but yeah, Fisayo, was good to have you here.
Thank you guys, man. Appreciate it. See you back soon. Safe.
Welcome back. But the first thing I would like to say is thank you to you for decking us out in this beautiful.
Home and away kits.
It's actually pretty jersey.
It just looks really good on camera, and
it's good too.
The colors.
Yeah, the colors. It's beautiful. The green, the yellow. Yeah. It's a beautiful color.
But yes, this is Dia from Bet Winner Nigeria, our helpers, like I like to say. And yes, he does have something to tell you, our fans and our listeners out there. So please.
Yeah, hello guys. So I'm Dia from Bet Winner, obviously. Yeah, so there's not much to talk about. I just want you guys to know that on Bet Winner, every Thursdays and Fridays, aside the welcome bonus, we do give bonus on sport bet and on casino bet. So for every customer that's talking about we don't give bonus, we actually do give bonus. Aside your first deposit, which of course if you're signing up, you need to click on the type of bonus you want, maybe casino or sport bonus. Then every Thursday and Friday, when you make a deposit, you get double of the amount you're making. On Thursday, you get to use the money to play sport bet, while on Friday it's on casino games. And we have app. With our Bet Winner app, you can easily navigate on the platform. A lot of market options. Even myself, I use the app. I place bet. No, really, I place bet.
Recently, you'd rather use the app than even the web.
Yeah,
you mostly use the app.
Yeah, because the app is actually very cool and you can easily navigate on it. And on Bet Winner, people don't have username. You use your user ID. And with the app, it's going to be saved on it. So let's say you are using an iPhone. Once you open the app, it's going to use your Face ID to log in. Then if it's an Android, you use your fingerprint. So you don't have to be logging in every time.
I feel like that's sleek.
Yeah, that's actually very nice.
Capping on bet winners game that they don't have bonuses. Stop it, it's not funny.
Bro, and that's what's interesting because that when I got the docket first, I saw all the bonuses and I was like, you have birthday bonuses, you have Thursday bonuses, you have Friday bonuses. I'm like, bro.
And once in a while we have promos where you can win PS5, you can win. So it's a lot. You just need to be on the platform. You just need to be on the platform and you'll find that out.
Right. Yeah. So nobody does it like BetWinner does it. I mean, of course, all these bonuses just there for you to pick up at the tap of a button. Download the BetWinner app. It is, it's just there for you, right?
Yeah.
And lastly, most importantly, most people are placing bets to win bets. So on our platform, once you have a winning, within 5 minutes max, you're going to be credited.
Cash out.
Yeah, and there's no limit to the amount you can win. Most betting platform, 30 million, 40 million, that's the amount you can win. But on our platform, you can win up to 100 million. Yeah, so it depends on your selection and your stake. Yeah.
I didn't know that one before.
Yeah.
Where's my phone? Give my phone.
So it depends on your selection and your stake, and you are good to go.
Which game do you have today?
And one good thing is we actually do give, we have a SPAC that book game, then place it on a platform. So it's called Accumulator of the Day. So once you click on it, once you click on it, you see the list of game. You could edit it. You could decide to play it that way. So it's all good. Yeah.
Anyhow, no problem. Thank you.
No time, bro.
All right, thanks for having us. Right. We can call it a day there.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you very much for coming.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Peace, guys.
Safe.